Tyler Ramos.
Here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm just kidding, guys. That's my pre-record intro. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. Guys, tonight we got an amazing show for you. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin as we did just get a little bit of a dump. So we're going to be covering that stuff. But first, guys, we obviously have a very special guest. But before we bring him on, we do have some housekeeping to do. First off, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys will get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure, where there will be multiple chances to win some free crypto. We give away crypto every single week on this channel. So got to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the wheel. The more spins, the more wins. The more wins, the more free crypto. Mike is clipping. Shout out to I almost said Dave Digital. Shout out to hang on, bear with me, guys. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate you. Let me go ahead and pull up that. That should be a bit better there. Let me know, Rob, if we're still clipping. But yeah, guys, smash up that like button if you have not already. Haircut looks great. Shout out to Dragon Snort. I appreciate you, bro. We got the New York barber. Flew him in from New York, Long Island specifically. Flew him in here to give us all a nice little New York cut down in the ATL. But yeah, guys. Let's see. What else we got? We got some stuff to talk about. Smash that like button, obviously. I don't have to say that again. But guys, don't forget, we do have MEXC. If you guys sign up with our MEXC link, we're going to be probably going to be putting out a pre-record showing you guys, kind of just doing an overview of the actual exchange. I've been using it for a little bit, and it's a pretty fire exchange, guys. You probably aren't unfamiliar with it, but I'm going to be probably doing a pre-record on that. But guys, MEXC is doing a deal for the CandleMafia. Every 100, the first 100 MEXC signups will get a $20 trading bonus, which obviously won't be immediately withdrawable, but I believe you can withdraw any profit. So if you flip that 20 bucks into $100, you can withdraw the profit. It just gives you some free money to start off trading with risk-free. But yeah, go ahead and check that out, guys. And if you, I don't know, Tony D, I don't know if MEXC is a part of the dining room yet, but if it's not, maybe we should add it to give people who use the link a little bit of access to some of those premium features from the premium Discord. If you guys get into that dining room and you've signed up with any of our affiliate links, or exchange affiliates, you can put in your user ID into that part of the Discord and unlock one weekly premium TA post from the actual premium Discord. A lot of times it's a trade setup. So if you guys want to check that out before actually joining the premium Discord, that's kind of a cool way to do it. Get a free $20 and get access to that freemium Discord section. But guys, Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a move to the downside. However, we do have our special guest, David from Sin City. So we already got a bunch of really good questions for him. Tony D sent them over in the Discord. I will not be pulling them up on the Discord live. I will be reading them off another screen. And if you know why, you know why. But anyway, guys, let me go ahead and I believe that's all the housekeeping we got. But we obviously have David waiting in the backstage here, so let me go ahead and throw on those headphones. And everybody give a warm welcome to our special guest, David from Sin City Crypto. David, what is going on, bro? Thank you so much for coming on. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing? Thank you so much for having me. Last time, man, I've been on a few podcasts, and there's nothing against any other ones, but by far, the best time I had was when I came on yours. I think we had a great conversation, great questions from your community. The CandleMafia is just straight fire, so you guys are awesome. And I love the haircut, bro. You're looking good.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, CandleMafia is out there, and I know they loved the last collab that we did. I got another little thing here full of really good questions from them. And yeah, some of them are trading related, some of them are just crypto related, but I'm sure it'll start an awesome conversation. And yeah, funny story about the haircut is when I moved from New York to Atlanta, we had a really hard time finding someone who would give us like a New York haircut in Atlanta. And when Tony
What's a New York
moved
haircut?
down, you know, I don't know what it is about New York, but they just give a certain, I don't know what it is. They got a certain touch to the haircuts. And it was very apparent when I got down here. I didn't even know I cared about my haircut until I came down here and got a couple bad ones. But now we just fly down Tony's barber from New York. We get a bunch of people that get haircuts. We pre-book them, and then we fly him out. And he's nice enough to come down and do it for us. So super
If you're ever in
pumped
Vegas,
about
man.
that. What was that?
If you're ever in Vegas, fly him out to Vegas. I'd love to get one, too.
Yeah, absolutely. We might as well just like make him. We're gonna hire him on Frankie Candles and make him just like a permanent team member. But yeah,
awesome.
I appreciate you coming on, David. So first off, before we jump into any of the questions that I have, I know a lot of the Candle Mafia already knows who you are, but for anybody new, this kind of leaks into our first question. But for anybody who might not know of you just yet, let us know, who you are, where you came from, and our first question is, what is your origin story? When did you get into trading? What was your aha moment? What got you into crypto? So just give us a little breakdown of, who is David and how did you wind up here?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is David. I'm one half of Sin City Crypto. My other co-host, Robin, and I, and our producer, Rocco. We do a live show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific, so 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My family immigrated from overseas in Europe to California back in '96, and my dad was always an entrepreneur, and he moved us out here to the U.S. because, in Europe, Sweden more specifically, everyone's always enamored that, oh my God, you get free healthcare, you get free this, free that, but they tax you to death, and essentially your potential is capped from an income perspective. And so for my dad, it was important, him being an entrepreneur, for his kids to grow up in a country where their potential would be unlimited, right? That the sky would be essentially the ceiling. And so moved us out to California. He started his own business. And I draw a lot of motivation from my dad because, he left a pretty high earning job. He was, I think, top 10% in Sweden as far as income earners. He came to a country, he didn't know the language. So I'm Armenian by ethnicity. Didn't know the language, didn't know anyone here. And so when he came out here for the first 2 years, he would get up at 7 in the morning and he would go to school to get because he was in HVAC, refrigeration and AC. He would go to get his certifications to get a business license to start his own business. He would do that from, I believe he told me, like 6 to about 11 a.m. or noon. Then he would go work at McDonald's to make money. And then at 7 o'clock at night till midnight, he would take English classes so he can learn to speak the language. He did that for 2 years, and, as I grew older, that really inspired me. Anytime I, wasn't happy with myself, or, I wasn't, I've had great jobs all my life, but it was never satisfying, or I felt like I wasn't serving a purpose. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. So I would always think about my dad, and I'm like, all the sacrifices he made. As my dad, he passed away about 5 years ago, coming up on 6 years in December. And so I always think to myself, and that's kind of what motivated me to jump into this channel is everything my dad sacrificed. Am I doing him justice? And that kind of led me to Sin City Crypto. Rob and I knew each other from a restaurant we worked at. And we were always the crypto guys, right? So I started a text thread, and he was in it. And there was probably 7 of us. And we would always, talk crypto. And Robin would always say some outlandish stuff, man. And I would always push back. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, this makes no sense. And one day out of the blue, he calls me. He's like, hey, I'm like, who's this? Like, it's Robin. I'm like, from Hell's Kitchen? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. He's like, you want to start a YouTube channel with me? I was like, what? Like a YouTube channel. So my first thing was, of course, like YouTube channel. Okay, yeah. And so long story short, I hung up the phone. I talked to my wife about it. My wife always told me, because I would always watch The Herd, Colin Cowherd. I would watch it for 3 hours straight. I would give commentary like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. What the hell does he mean? And so she would always joke to me and say, hey, you should be like a sports anchor or a commentator. And then so when I told her that, she was like, well, I have been telling you for the last 2 years. And then I slept on it. I woke up. I was like, you know what, man, what have I got to lose? I'm making good money. I haven't taken any risks. I haven't been happy with myself over the last 2 years. And so we jumped in. We decided to build a studio, spend about $250,000 building a studio. And by the way, Frankie, when you're in Vegas, you got to come check it. You got to come visit the studio, man.
Absolutely.
And we kind of, the basis of our channel, we are in Sin City, the entertainment capital of the world. A lot of channels as we were coming into crypto were kind of boring. The production quality wasn't there. You had a lot of people just had no idea what the hell they were talking about. And so me personally, I have a thirst for knowledge. I continuously want to learn, and I enjoy educating people. And I've always been taught that if you help enough people get what they want and what they need, then you're eventually going to get what you want. And so that's kind of been our thesis: is put community first. Really put community first. I mean, I can't tell you how many sponsorship deals and money that's been thrown our way that we've turned down because we felt like our community doesn't need to be exposed to those things. And so we operate from a community first standpoint. We want to entertain you. We want to bring you education. We want to bring you amazing guests like Frankie Candles. And so that's kind of where we're at. We have a grand vision of being a top 3 live show channel come the next bull market. We know, we kind of launched in the beginning of the bear, or essentially the tail end of the bull market, beginning of the bear market. And so we're really digging into honing ourselves, our product, our production, our knowledge, our network of people we know to be able to bring these high quality guests onto our channel to expose our community to great opinions and great knowledge. And that's kind of where we're at. As far as my personal crypto journey, I kind of started dabbling in the end of 2016. Euphoria of 2017 still wasn't like fully behind it, but it was intriguing enough to keep me around. And then end of 2017, beginning of 2018, bear market hit. Whereas a lot of people kind of delete their apps and tune out, I decided to really dig in. I started really heavily investing in crypto right around February of 2021. And I know that was like the top of the market, but for me, I had decided I am in this long term. I do not care if this money is sitting in my account. If I don't start investing in it now and I'm going to wait for the next bull market to come, I'm either going to spend it on dumb stuff or I'm just going to, so I decided to go all in, started investing heavily in crypto, and then the show came along and here we are.
That's amazing, man. And I will say, your studio is not to be messed with. I always say that, like, every time I come on your show, I always say, like, it's one of the highest produced crypto channels, if not the most, on YouTube. So Mafia, if you're ever out there and you're checking it out, like, one thing is, like, your production quality is absolutely through the roof. And yeah, that's a really cool story. And I love that, you got in February 2021, but you went in with that idea of, like, listen, I don't even care if this is the top. I'm in it long term anyway. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, they really do. A lot of people miss that. And like you said, when 2018 bear market came, it's where everyone's just like, well, let's withdraw all my money, delete Coinbase. And, at that point, I know a lot of people didn't think it would even come back. But yeah, and I didn't realize that you guys started your channel like at the tail end of that bull market. I didn't even realize that. Similar to me, I started, I'll never forget, I started literally on that first bear market dump. And, my whole family was like, you going to start a YouTube channel now? And I'm like, we'll make money going down. So
I look at it. I look at it from an advantage standpoint, right? Because, Robin and I have never been on camera, right? We knew crypto, but we've never been on camera. We never set up a studio. We don't know audio. We don't know video. We don't know how to connect this and send this feed here. And so when we really opened our channel on September 2021, there was 3 months of us not knowing what the hell we're doing. And so it's like the viewership was down. Great. Let us work through our kinks. The last thing we want is in a bull market where like, oh my God, here's a new channel. What the hell are these guys doing? I'm never tuning in again. We saw it as an advantage to launch in a bear market. Obviously, like from a financial standpoint, money wise, we had to come out of pocket a lot out of our own money, but we look at it ourselves as an investment. And just kind of going back to, investing at the top of the market, and just think of like human psychology, right? When you say you're going to do something, I'm going to do it next week, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it, chances are you're not going to do it. But if you're really serious about something, you're like, I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to quit smoking right now. This last cigarette in my hand, I'm throwing it out. I'm running the pack of cigarettes in my pocket underwater, and I'm done. Versus saying, oh, no, today is my last day, tomorrow. Same thing with investing, right? If you have a long-term horizon and you really believe in the space like people like I and Frankie do, then it shouldn't matter. If you got a 5 to 10 year time horizon minimum, who cares? You're buying Bitcoin at 50K or 20K. Sure, you can get more tokens, but guess what? You run the risk of A, blowing the money, B, something else happening, or you just, anything else that can pop up. And so the best time to invest was yesterday, which you couldn't do, but the next best time is now.
I like that. I like that. I might steal that. The best time to invest was yesterday.
I didn't make that up, though. I want to be clear. Someone smarter than me said that. I can't remember their name, though, but if I do at the end, I'll
I love that, though. And I do just want to go back to when you were mentioning your channel before, something that, is very clear coming from you guys, other than the high production value. And one thing is that you like to provide, and I just see this from seeing your show, you like to, it's clear that you guys are a community first channel, which is very similar to how I like to do things on this channel. And it's very clear that, you guys have the guests on your channel to provide as much value as possible for your audience. And I think that's extremely, extremely important. But I do want to move on to our first question. Now, I think we might have talked about this briefly last time, but I just want to refresh because it's been a little bit since you were on. But as far as trading, I don't remember. Are you more of a short-term trader, a long-term trader, a long-term investor? How do you attack crypto? Like for me personally, I am a day trader and a scalper. But also heavily a long-term investor, but I just kind of separate the two. How would you explain yourself as like a crypto investor trader?
I would say first and foremost, I'm a long-term investor. I come from a background of day trading and scalping and trading more medium-term stuff like stock options. But I do swing trade every once in a while in crypto. That could mean holding on to something for a week, for 2 weeks, I've held on to something as long as a month. But the day-to-day, I just don't have the time. And honestly, from an emotional roller coaster standpoint, there's just so much going on in my life. I can't stay glued to a chart and pick up on the 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute. So, I don't really look at anything, below the 1 hour on the time frames. But I typically try to stay between the 4, 1 day, and even the weekly. So I do swing trade and scalp some profits here and there. But first and foremost, I would say I'm more of an investor, a long-term investor.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. I talk about this all the time on my channel is like, I think there's this thing that everybody wants to be a day trader. Everybody thinks they want to be a day trader. Everyone thinks they want to be a scalper. I think it's misrepresented online, and this is coming from somebody who literally day trades every single day. But I think it's important, and that's a big question that a lot of more people need to ask themselves when getting into crypto is, people always tell me like, Frankie, I want to be a day trader. Like, what time frame should I be looking at? And I'm like, listen, first off, what does your day look like, right? Like, are you at a job? Like, are you busy all day long? Because if that's the case, like you just said, like if you got stuff going on all day, you're probably not going to have the time to sit down and check out the 5-minute chart every 30 seconds. And I think that's really important for people to realize, going into their trading journey, right? Because I think a lot of people get caught up trying to day trade, and then they're thinking like, how are people doing this? Like, don't people have jobs? And I think it's all about figuring out what style works for you.
And I 100% agree, and I want to add one more thing to that, Frankie. Is like, are you able to keep your emotions in check, right? Because you know, one of my favorite people in our space as far as TA is Forrest. You know Forrest,
Yeah, of
and
course.
it's partly because he's a very even keeled guy. Like, people actually make fun of him, like, hey, the guy never smiles. He's never. But like, when he's trading, when you're a day trader, and you can speak on this more than I can. You do it more regularly. I've done it in the past, but you have to be able to take your emotion out of it. You have to be able to not get married to a trade and want to prove yourself right by holding on for too long or not holding on long enough. And you need to have that discipline. And a lot of people don't have that. And I didn't have that when I started. And I probably still don't have as much as I should if I wanted to get back into day trading. So guys, it's not just looking at charts, looking at entry points, exit points. You have to be able to take your emotions completely out of your trades so you can make money from a logical standpoint, not from an emotional standpoint. You make decisions based on logic and charts and technicals, not what you're feeling or because you're upset it went the wrong way, or you start doubting yourself and now you're trying to prove a point. Same thing with gambling, right? You're chasing the next win. If it turns into that, you're toast. You're done.
Yeah, I think that's really well said. I think I always tell people, listen, like I have a premium Discord where I give my trade setups. One thing I don't do is signals. I will not tell people, hey, good time to buy here. What I like to do is I show the setup. If this happens, then that. But I always tell people, the reason I don't do signals is because if I was somehow able, which is not possible, if I was somehow able to give 100% win rate trades, just no losers, every single one was a winner, guaranteed somehow, obviously not possible. But if I were able to do that, a lot of the people that were taking those signals would still lose the trades, because it's obviously you want to know where to get in, where to get out. But you can know it's going down right here, but do you have the emotional discipline to manage the trade? And that's really the difficult part about trading. It's not the TA. I would say TA and your strategy is probably 30% of it. The rest is all psychology, risk management, and emotional control.
And let me say something to people watching. If you find traders that are giving signals, buy now, buy, you can kind of run away from those people, okay? Those are the, like, when you have people like Frankie, like people like Forrest, like Garrett Solway, some of the other ones, you can't want people to just hold your hand and tell you what to do, right? It's the saying, teach a man to fish, feed himself for a lifetime, give a man a fish, he feeds himself for a day. You should value the people that don't want to do that, because they want to take the time to teach you, hey, this is why I'm entering this trade if this happens. If this doesn't happen, then this means that. Versus just tell you, get in a trade, get out of a trade. Sure, it's the easy thing to do, but you're really not getting anything from it. And the people that are doing that are usually trying to scam you out of money. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I say that all the time. Like, I could use paid ads to try to drive as many people to my Discord as possible, but really, we were thinking about capping my Discord to keep the premium live streams smaller, to keep people who are serious about trading in there. So yeah, definitely, I'm not saying that people don't have good signals out there, but I'm saying even if someone had 100% hit rate, people are still bound to lose those trades because of their emotions. So,
100%.
Yeah. So moving on, I want to get to Bitcoin a little bit. Obviously, I think the last time a lot has happened since the last time we've had you on. So Bitcoin, 15.5, got a rip up almost, up into the 30s, right? And now we got consolidated for what felt like forever. Not going to lie, the past 2 months have been pretty brutal for the trading content because we've just been going sideways. But now we are finally getting a move down. What is your general sentiment on the market? Do you think the bottom's in? I'm not asking for a yes or no answer. We all know that no one can predict the future.
Yes.
But what's your general sentiment? Like, how are you feeling? Do you think we got lower coming, or do you think we're going to kind of, range around? What do you think?
Yes, I think the bottom's in. I can comfortably say that. And the beauty of it is if I'm wrong, cool, man, I'll just buy some more.
Yeah,
if I'm right, cool. I'm right. I get some. I get a cookie or whatever they're giving nowadays when you're right on these calls. But for me, like, here's and if it's okay with you, Frank, if I can take a couple minutes to share something I shared on the stream today. I actually tweeted on this on our Twitter on Friday. Is I was sitting there and I was thinking, I'm in crypto, and I don't know about you, Frankie, or you guys watching. Like, I got into crypto to make money, but then when I came in, really dug into what our government's doing, what the Federal Reserve is doing, what the central banks are doing, how people are being attacked economically, monetarily. And that's the system we're trying to escape, right? in form of crypto, Bitcoin, hedging against monetary debasement and inflation. So I'm thinking, like, we say take profit, take profit. I've said it on the channel and I say it. I'm thinking, like, if that's the case, why am I taking profit out of Bitcoin, arguably the best hard money out there, and into a currency that's being devalued year after year? So I started thinking, I'm like I don't think I'm ever going to take profits on Bitcoin because I'm so rooted in believing that the governments and fiat money is going to, their governments and their spending and their erratic behavior and printing money to no qualms and stuffing their own pockets and every BS thing that is happening, they're going to completely ruin the economy and drive the dollar into the ground. Every single empire that has existed in the history of Earth has fallen, and their currency has fallen with it, right? And the U.S. is no different. There's going to come a point where the U.S. dollar is going to be nothing. It's going to be like Venezuela and Argentina, where they're literally, people are wiping the floor with the currency. Same thing is going to happen, but on a more bigger scale, in my opinion. And my logic is rooted in the fact that the U.S. has to print money to pay its bills. We're at a point right now that the taxes we collect, we can't even pay our bills. Social Security, healthcare, Medicaid, people that are on welfare. We cannot pay our bills, politicians' salaries. So what do? We have to print money. And we come into a recession and guess what? We have to print more money. And there's no liquidity in the treasury market. Guess what? We have to print more money, which was fine 10 years ago, 20 years ago, because a lot of that money was going overseas. At one point, we're at about 65% of the U.S. dollars in circulation were held on national bank or on foreign banks, balance sheets, foreign central banks. That number is declining. Japan, our number one holder of U.S. debt, declining. China, declining. BRICS is coming. Petrodollar is almost done. You have these countries that are now saying, after they saw what the U.S. did with Russia, and literally went into Russia's central bank and said, nope, these dollars are ours. And literally took the dollars. The Russia's like, whoa. I'm not siding with Russia's right or what they're doing. I'm just saying, think about it. If you're another country, you're like, damn, so if we say something to piss these guys off, they could just reach into my bank account and take all the money out. No, thank you. So they move away from U.S. debt. So what does that mean? That means as the U.S. government continues to print money because they have to, more of that money is going to stay in the U.S. And what do we know about supply and demand? When supply goes up and demand stays the same, prices tank, okay? And the value of the dollar is going to tank. I shared a tweet from Paul Krugman, a world-renowned macroeconomist. They're already moving the inflation goalposts. And I know I'm kind of like going off on a tangent here about macro, but it's all going to come back to Bitcoin. They're already saying, oh, well, 2%, like 3% is more. And then guess what, guys? The year after, it's going to be 4%, and then 5%. And then they're going to convince you that taking 10% of your buying power every year is normal, and it's fine. It's not normal. It's not fine. So do you really want to have your currency, your money in a currency that is controlled by these idiots who have no idea what the hell they're doing, who probably can't pass an economics test or budget their own? Like we're literally have our future and money in the hands of people who can't even balance a checkbook, right? It's obvious they can't. They're spending more money than they're bringing in, like Finance 101. Spend less money than you bring in. So for me, that is why I am not taking profits on Bitcoin. Doesn't mean I'm not going to take profits on swing trades. Doesn't mean I'm not going to take profits. But I have a separate little area that I collect and hold on my Bitcoin. I don't plan on selling that. I want to say ever. And I don't sound like Michael Saylor. Might sound crazy. But just really think about it and think about what I just said and try to understand that if you believe in the same thing that I'm saying, that it's going to happen. If you don't, hey, cool, man. Take profits. It's your money. Do what you want to do. But if you think there's even a chance of that happening, you go to Venezuela 10 years ago when their currency was strong and say, hey, you have the option right now to rewind 10 years and put all your Venezuelan money into Bitcoin. Would you do it? They would be like, oh, yes, please, for the love of God. And so am I saying in 10 years we're going to be like that here in the U.S.? I don't know, maybe, but I'm hedging my risk either way.
Yeah, I agree. Anytime I go to think about taking profits on my Bitcoin, especially the Bitcoin I've accumulated, in the bottom of this bear market, it's like, what am I going to do? Like sell off into a melting dollar? Like I know everyone watching has probably seen, that chart of the devaluation of the US dollar. And It's just crazy, especially with all the banks going down, through the bottom of this bear market. I was talking to people at the Hit Network, and we're just like, don't want to hold dollars. Those are melting. You don't want to keep your money in a bank, that's for sure. Like, where do we put our money? And, you're just looking around the room, and everyone's like, I mean, this is our time to shine, right? Like, if there's no better time. I've never been more bullish on crypto from a fundamental aspect ever. I mean, I've always been mega bullish too, but just these banks going
100%.
down, it's just like, what's the solution? And everyone's looking at each other like, it's Bitcoin, right? Like, it's such a clear solution to the problem that we're having.
I 100%, and everything you said is so right. And like you and the people around you who understand crypto and Bitcoin are thinking that. Imagine when the masses catch on, right? Imagine the family of 5 who's now going out and instead of spending $200 on groceries, is spending $500 on groceries. They're like, damn, I am working my behind off and I can barely buy groceries. Oh, well, here's this currency that has a hard supply, that is divisible, that is decentralized. It's not controlled or influenced by government or politics or one person or 2 people or a Federal Reserve or a central bank. It's there. It has value. And it's a hard money asset. And I think people are eventually going to come to that realization. And by the time the bureaucrats that are sitting in Capitol Hill across the globe realize that, it'll be too late. I would say it's already almost too late.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it may already be too late. So yeah, I would 100% agree with all of that. And especially like I said with the banks going down, like it's just so clear what the solution to all this is. But shifting focuses just a little bit here. I have a question here. I don't know who asked it, but they wanted to know if, what is your hardest lesson you've learned in crypto? I talk about it all the time. I've had I've had more than one mess up in crypto. Recently, I had bought some Solana almost days before it went to, almost zero. So do you have any one of those like big losses that you were able to really learn from? And if so, what was it that you learned?
Ooh, the hardest lesson I learned in crypto. Okay, so when I first dabbled in leverage trading, right? Mm-hmm. My first
That's a big lesson I had to
Vegas,
learn too.
right? Dude, like you come here, the casinos know it's your first time here. They're gonna let you leave with some money because they know they're gonna come back. And I was leverage trading, and I'm like, all right, take it slow. Probably about 2.5 years. It's 2 years ago or so. Let's just say. And I was like, okay, fine. Let me go ahead and I'll do a 5X. Cool. I made like $2,000. I was like, damn, okay, cool. 8X. All right. Made money on that trade. 15X. Then my first 25X trade, I didn't do isolated. I did cross margin.
Oh,
and my entire account got liquidated. And man, that was a very hard lesson. But I'm a believer in everything happens for a reason. I'm kind of happy that happened because it would have been worse if I would have grown that account to 100, 200, 300 grand, and then I made that grave mistake. I believe there's a lesson to be learned in every single mistake you make, and some lessons are more expensive than others. But as long as you take something away from that mistake you made, it's not a mistake to me. It's a lesson. And so to me, that was a lesson. Don't get greedy. Don't get ahead of yourself, and make sure to click isolated and not cross margin when you're leverage trading.
I have made the same exact mistake before early in my career. Same exact thing. I put a trade in on my phone, and it all started with me trading when I was out with friends, which is not the place to be trading, right? So 2 lessons I learned there. And somehow, I always had it on isolated. Somehow the app defaulted back to cross margin, and I went to check my account.
I wonder why.
Like, yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, why does it default to cross margin? Now I quadruple check it, but I went to check my trade, and I was like, oh, man, I got liquidated. Wait, what happened to my account? And then I realized it said cross margin. And, another common mistake that I hear a lot of people make, I've made this as well myself, setting limit orders, which also a lot of exchanges automatically default back to limit. And if you don't watch that, sometimes you'll go ahead to put a trade in. You think you're on market. You hit limit. The order obviously doesn't instantly fill because it was a limit order. And then you switch it to market. You get into the market order you wanted. please, people, if you're watching this, Mafia,
Yeah.
make sure you cancel that limit order because you could win that market trade that you put in. But if you forget about that limit order, you never know when it'll go get filled, and then who knows what'll happen after it gets filled. Oftentimes, you'll get liquidated. So that's, I had 100%. To learn that one the hard way as well. So this is actually a question from me. So I want to ask this question, and then we're going to go to the Q&A in chat and see what people are asking. By the way, I see the Mafia was absolutely loving that rant you just went on about the U.S. dollar. But this is for me. Personally, I have some, certain ideas, right? Like I said, no one can predict the future 100%. I have certain ideas of how I think the rest of the bear market will play out. I do think it could be something somewhat similar to what happened last cycle. And, I know a lot of people think we're going to break our yearly highs, go up to, maybe 40 to 50K before coming back down. Some people think we'll go sideways. Do you have like an assumption, I guess we'll call it, where what you think the price action will look like generally? Again, obviously, we're not holding you to any of this. But do you have an idea of how you think the bear market will play out?
So I like to kind of step outside of my own box and take a look at, and when I'm in a situation where it's technical, or even someone watching, you're trying to, figure something out and you just don't have the expertise of knowing exactly the trading levels or the support and resistance, or just break it down to the most basic fundamental foundation level, right? We're going into September, October, November, December, right? What are those, the holidays, right? What do people do on the holidays? They spend money on Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, visiting family. There's a reason why department stores just absolutely crush it in Q4, and in Q3 and Q1 and Q2, they're not doing so hot. And so I'm just thinking, okay, for a price to go up substantially, you need new money to come in, right? Institutions are not coming in because I believe that we're not going to see a spot ETF till 2024. Okay, so institutions to the side. Retail, okay. People are still scared. Bitcoin is still under 30K. We have PayPal joining, but it hasn't really had the effect. ETH futures ETF, great, but I don't think it's going to really affect the market or do anything to the market like it did with Bitcoin back when the first ETF future launched at the height of the bull market. And so I'm thinking, okay, where is this retail money going to come in? Credit card delinquencies are at all-time high. Mortgage rates are at all-time highs. People's credit card payments are going up. We have student loans coming back in October. So where is this new money that's going to push the price up going to come from?
Right.
So that's what kind of that line of thinking leads me to believe that the rest of this year is going to be flat, right? We might get some wicks down to 22K. We're going to get that scooped right back up. We might go up to 30, 32K, maybe a Grayscale announcement, which, by the way, guys, if Grayscale wins a lawsuit, doesn't mean a spot ETF's here tomorrow. Yep. The SEC has to just go back again and review it, and we know they can delay, and then approve or deny. Just keep that in mind. And so I'm like, okay, the rest of 2023 is going to be flat. We're going to be between 20 and 30K. I know that's a broad range. That's just what I think. Now, 2024, talks of the halving. Now the ETF deadlines are coming. March is when, if they delay every single date, the SEC, if they delay every single date, March is like, okay, bro, yes or no? So that's going to happen. And which, by the way, I think when a spot ETF opens, unless the economy is we're in a complete recession, I think you're going to see Bitcoin you're going to see a God candle. You want to talk about God candles? There's going to be a God candle. Because what you guys got to understand is futures ETF has nothing to do with the underlying asset. A spot ETF has everything to do with the underlying asset. So BlackRock, as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, investors start buying their ETF, and there's $300 billion worth of buys on the ETF. Guess what? On Friday, before the market closes, BlackRock has to go on the market and buy those $300 worth of Bitcoin to back their fund buy. That is the difference between a spot and a futures. The spot is actually backed by the actual asset, which in this case would be Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying they're going to market buy, but either way, that's going to have an effect. Plus, it's going to make mainstream headline news. You're going to have people like Larry Fink, which is already doing it, going out on this parade of Bitcoin is great now. It's no longer money laundering. It's funny how they all come around, right? And so I think, leading into 2024, I think we're going to see a big run. I think people are going to start taking some profits. And then, man, I think we're going to see a bull market like we've never seen before. I think It's going to be the first bull market where the institutions are here. It's going to be the first bull market where like the economy globally is in the crap. De-dollarization is continuing to happen. You have the greatest wealth transfer in the history of the world. I think the number was like $52 trillion will be changing hands over the next decade or 2 decades between the baby boomers, which is the largest generation, down to, I forget what, Gen X, and then millennials and Gen Z. So all that money is going to flow into the people that are our target audience. Me and you, Frankie.
Yep.
25 to 45. That's where all that money's going. And guess what? They don't give a crap about buying U.S. debt. They don't do CDs. So where are they going to go, man? They're going to go to the stock market. They're going to go to Tesla. They're going to go to technology stocks, AI, and crypto is going to get thrown right in. Man, and I'm like, it's hard for me to speak because I don't even want to throw a number out there because it's going to sound stupid. But I think this next bull market, guys, and I truly believe this might be the last true bear market we see that you can really scoop up Bitcoin at a super cheap price. I think the candles and the prices we're going to see in the next 2 to 3 years on Bitcoin, it's going to burn some eyeballs.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I talk to TJ at Hit Network a lot. We talk about it on Blockchain Basement. You know, this bull run potentially, you know, if we see the stars align and everything, you know, happen as we want it to, could be like the regulatory bull run, right? Where you get the actual big money in here and it's just a snowball effect. The banks are failing and it's just a snowball effect of all this bullish, not only news, but just bullish events for crypto. And I do agree. Now, I know you're not doing this either. Not saying that we're guaranteed to see that, but I do think there is a better chance than there ever has been for this bull run to trump all other bull runs. Me and TJ referred to it as the regulatory bull run, right? Because I even saw Kevin O'Leary was talking about this. Not that it was like an original, you know, thought or anything, but you know, he was just talking about. I think a lot of people feel like they already missed the boat on crypto, but they don't understand the tiny little fraction of money that is in this asset class. It is nothing when compared to actually actual regulated asset classes. So it's just that one 100%. Thing that we need. That spot ETF could be the thing to kind of start that tidal wave. Now, speaking of things getting delayed, this is from the Q&A in chat here, and they're asking, do you have an opinion on XRP? Are you an XRP guy? Do you think this is, you know, is XRP finally going to get its big break? Or, yeah, where do you fall on that?
So, you know, we all celebrated, myself included, which I like XRP. I have XRP in my portfolio. It's one of my longer term holds. I like what they're doing with the XRPL. And although I despise CBDCs, I understand the role XRP is going to play in it. And I look at CBDCs as something that we're not going to have a choice, right? It's going to be here. And so let's try to profit from it. Let's try to make some money from it. And so, yeah, I am a fan of XRP. And we all celebrated when the summary judgment came down, but, you know, we had to rein ourselves in, myself included, because I was over the moon, man. I was so excited. And you got all these relistings. And then what happened? XRP went to 80, 85, 90 cents, came back down. Now it's at 50 cents. And so, but the reason I'm saying that is we just like, there's still a ways to go, right? They're still going to hammer down a trial date. This thing's going to go to trial. Now, of course, unless they come out and the SEC and Ripple decide to settle, then it's a different story. But this thing gets dragged out. We're looking at like a trial. So this thing could take a while. But what should give you confidence is while this is happening here in the US, XRP continues to make partnerships globally. That is the beauty of crypto, guys. Is it's not tied to one country. It's not tied to one person, one dictator, one Federal Reserve, one government. It's global. So the US might be crap in the bed here and not doing what they should be doing, but guess what? There's like 280 something other countries.
Tyler Ramos.
Okay, I think, are we back live? Guys, hit me with a green check mark if we're back. I think you guys can see me. I don't know what just happened. Our live stream software just crashed out of nowhere. David just reconnected. We're about to be back live, guys. We're about to be back live. Okay. Yeah, okay, we're good. David's back. All right. Guys, we did it. We did it. Okay, let me pull David back up real quick. That was annoying. We were having such a good conversation, too. David, I am so sorry about that.
Listen, bro, I'm the last person you have to apologize to. Guys, just so you know, to run a live show, there are so many intricate parts, especially when you're using a high-end software like Frankie uses. We use the same one, and so you run into these issues, guys. It is what it is, man. So you don't got to apologize, bro. You're good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, especially, vMix has all these features, but it does come with extra problems. But XRP, like we were talking about XRP being delayed and kind of where you fall. You said you do. You said you do hold it.
Yeah, I do hold it, and for me, XRP is in my bucket of 5 to 10 year cryptos that I plan on holding. And so I scoop some up at 50 cents. I have a weekly regimen that's certain projects I DCA in, and XRP is one of those. You know, the platform and what they're doing on the XRPL, you know, I think,
Yeah. So for me, I fall in the same boat. I hold XRP. I have a decent bag, but I'm not one of those people. This is kind of my next question about XRP. There's a lot of people out there. I don't know exactly what conspiracy or what their kind of thesis behind this is, but everybody, you know, I'm not one of those people calling for a $10,000 XRP. I think they have some kind of reason how it could get there. I don't see how it could get there when just looking at market cap, and I think maybe $5 to $10 would be a more realistic expectation for that. But yeah, have you heard that, like XRP to $10,000? Do you know anything deeper into that at all?
Nah. I mean, guys. Let's reel ourselves in here, okay? Let me just pull up. Let me pull up XRP here real quick on my side. I got CoinMarketCap. So XRP, you're looking at a total supply of 100 billion tokens. So what'd you say, a $10,000 XRP?
That's what they say.
What is that, a 1 quadrillion market cap? And I'm not that good at math, but like
something like that.
For Christ's sakes, like you put all the world economies together, it doesn't even come close to a fraction of that. And so unless somehow they get rid of like 70% of their tokens, sure. But no, but here's the thing, like, can XRP get to 200, 300, 500 billion? Yeah. Could I see it get to a trillion? If the overall crypto market cap is over 10, sure. I can potentially see XRP coming in at $1 trillion market cap if they continue to expand globally and provide the infrastructure for the payment rails, for the CBDC rails, then sure, as long as the token itself is continuing to serve the utility and purpose it is, or even they add more utility to that token, then yeah. But $10,000, like, come on.
Yeah. That's like you start comparing it to, like you said, like all the economies in the world put together. It's like it would have to be, there needs to be more money.
Yeah, let's be realistic here.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. There is some kind of crazy, I don't know. There's some kind of weird theory that they have that just, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I try to figure it out.
I hope you're right, because I'll make a lot of money.
That's what I said. I was like, if XRP goes to 10K, everybody gets $1 million.
Bro, we buying yachts.
Yeah.
We're buying yachts.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you start getting just like the gold-plated cars and like just the absolute infinite wealth.
Yes.
But I do want to move on. I got one more question, and that is, let's see. We have a couple here, but we're only going to have time for one. Somebody asked, stream not working? So, okay, so this one, I'll actually pull one of the questions. I won't pull it up, but I just know what it is. So when it comes to investing, whether it's, you know, a long-term investment, maybe it's a swing trade, like you said, once in a while you will put in a swing trade. You know, for me personally, it's mostly chart related. Obviously, I take fundamentals into account for my longer-term investments and stuff. But when you're looking to make money in crypto, is there a one go-to indicator, or it doesn't even have to be an indicator, but just like a tool that you wouldn't be able to live without, right? For me, it would be like the chart. I could not live without the chart. But yeah, is there anything, doesn't have to be chart related, just something you can't live with that you use as a tool in crypto?
Well, okay, so one thing that I look at, especially like swing trading and or even like longer term investing, is I really pay attention to inflation schedule, emissions. And so an app I use is token.unlocks.app. And I want to give a shout out to Redman because he posted that in our Discord one day. This was months ago. And I really was like, dude, okay, this thing is legit. It breaks everything down. And actually, Frankie, I can actually share my screen.
Yeah, please do.
If you're okay with that.
Of course. As long as you don't click on any
still...
links in my Discord.
No. So here it is, guys. Token.unlocks.app. For example, one we were talking about today was Avalanche. If you click on it, it tells you price, fully diluted, circulating supply, and then this is the important one, emissions, right? So 24.5% inflation rate for the AVAX token. And the cool thing too, guys, is down here, this chart, it tells you when exactly tokens are being unlocked. And on the left here, you can select and deselect. Okay, I only want to see ones from the tokens that people are going to get that they're more likely to sell. So that would be private sales, seed sales, strategic partnerships. The team probably not going to sell it. Foundation probably not going to sell it. They don't have to worry about staking rewards. And so that is something I look at, and you can really see the dates, how much of it, and really make your decisions that way. As far as something I like to look at, especially when you're swing trading, the last thing you want to do is put in a swing trade on Avalanche when it's got 200 million tokens unlocking or $200 million worth of tokens unlocking. And then you're stuck like, oh my God, why didn't it go? Or, hey, this thing was supposed to happen, but price only went up 1%. It just came crashing back down. Little did you know that, hey, these investors, these early round seed investors, they got a crap load of their tokens unlocked. And guess what? As an investor, your job is to do what? To make money. How do you make money? You sell the token. So that I guess that would be one thing.
I love that. We've used that site in the past as well for research for our videos. It's a super, super useful tool. And thank you for sharing your screen as well. I'm sure half the Candle Mafia is like on Google right now going to that website. So I appreciate that. And we got one last question, David. Thank you so much for sticking around through the technical difficulties and everything. Sure. But this one comes from, I won't tell you who it's from, but they want to know.
Is it about the Cavs?
It's well, we did have a question about the Cavs, but this one is coming from a secret Mafia member. I think he may be a big part of your community as well, potentially. But he says, do you have a favorite mod on your channel? Answer very carefully.
Come on, man. I love all mods equally. Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't have a favorite mod. We do select who our mods are, and so we have a few of them, and they all do a great job. They're always in there. They're always keeping the conversations going. And so I'm not going to name anyone specifically, but and to all the mods out there, like, yeah. If you ask the question, it's probably not you, but just kidding. No. Like all the mods, we love mods, and I think a live show without mods, I think it to me is a death sentence. Like they're so important. So if you're a mod on Frankie's channel, or you're a mod on our channel, or anyone's channel, you guys play a key role in how the show flows and the conversation and making sure there's no interruptions and people aren't being turned off by conversations happening. And so big shout out to all the mods. I don't have a favorite one, but I love all of them.
There you go. So that question did come from Crypto Billy. But
okay, one of my favorite people, period, though, is Billy. I love Billy, man. He is such an amazing person. If you've ever met him in person, you'll know what I mean. Frankie, when he actually helps us out, he works with us. He helps us out. He's part of our communications team. He helps dude's amazing. And one of the first things when we started working with him was he mentioned you as being one of his favorite content creators. And he said, because you just come off as genuine, and he said the same thing about us. And so Billy's a great dude. He's everywhere. And Billy, I know you're watching, man. I love you. I appreciate you. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I always tell people he's like a famous community member. Like, people know him
But Billy's the
everywhere.
man.
Yeah, he really is. And one of the best
Billy's
human
the man.
beings I've ever met, like you said.
100%.
But, David, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for giving us your insights on XRP, the Token Unlocks website, all the amazing value that you brought us. And, yeah, we really do appreciate you coming on. Please, feel free to let people know where they could find you, what you guys going on. Take the last, however long you want. I'll give you the screen and let people know what you got going on.
For sure. Man, thanks for another great conversation, Frankie. I love coming on your show. It's such a good time. You ask such thought-provoking questions. Your community is amazing. I think you have something really special here, Frankie. And I think if you stay to your core principles and values, which I know you are, if I know anything about you, and I've met you a few times, I really think you're gonna be big, man, and your community is gonna benefit vastly from it. So big thank you there. We love having you on our channel as well. And also, if you guys want more of me, more of Sin City Crypto, we do a live show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're more entertainment focused, but we bring you great guests, great alpha. We have a great time on the show. And so if you want another channel to get some opinions and insight from, feel free. And also follow us on Twitter. We're at Sin City Crypto 1. And yeah, thank you so much. Again, always love coming on here, and I definitely look forward to coming on the show again and having you come on our show.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for the kind words. I love coming on your show. So I look forward to that next time you guys have me on. But David, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for giving the Mafia all this insight. And we will see you soon, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you, Candy, Frankie.
You can call me
and the
Candy,
Candle Mafia.
David.
Love you guys. Thank you, Candy. Candy was a stripper I knew one time. Sorry. Anyways, see you later, bro. Thank you.
Have a good one, bro. Oh, God, guys, I love David. You know, sometimes you just meet those people in life, and like David mentioned, we have met a couple times in real life. You just meet somebody, and you could just tell within minutes of meeting them, like, this is a down-to-earth, really good person. So shout out to David. I love going on their show. They really do, guys. Go subscribe to their channel. They have some of the highest produced crypto content out there. Great information as well. And, hey, you never know. Frankie Candles might pop up there once in a while. So go check them out, guys. But as we start to wrap up the show here, guys, I don't want to leave you guys in the dark, as we did get that little bit of a dump. So I do want to cover the charts just a little bit here before we actually sign off. But guys, before we jump into the charts, I do want to let you know that tomorrow at 6:30 a.m., we are going to be doing a collab, not on my channel, but on their channel with Sheldon. Shout out to Creighton C. I'll read that in a second. But guys, we are doing the collab with Sheldon. I don't know if you guys commented on their videos to get me on there or what happened, but they wound up reaching out and asking us to come on the show. So we will be doing that tomorrow at 6:30. I have a feeling a few people here are probably going to catch the replay of that one. But I will be up at the crack of dawn because they are in a different time zone. So we got to get up early to be on that show. So I am going to try to hop out of here a little bit quick. But not before we check out this price action on Bitcoin. So without further ado, guys, thank you for sticking around through all these technical difficulties. Shout out to Creighton C. Says, hey, Candy. Yes, it's Candy now. Shout out to Creighton C. David, you might have broke the internet with that one. I love it. But let's go ahead and jump right into the charts here, guys, and see if we can figure out what the heck is going on with Bitcoin. If I can figure out where my screen is. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on into the charts here, guys. And don't forget, if you guys are not subscribed, I saw Kelly Kellerman here from the BitLab Academy. If you guys are not subscribed to the BitLab YouTube channel, go check him out, guys. He is creeping up, I think, on either 9,000 or 10,000 subscribers. He's got like 40 subscribers left, so let's push him over, guys. Let's get him. Let's hit that milestone for him, whether after the stream or if you guys want to dip out and then come back. Go subscribe. To the BitLab YouTube channel. We love Kelly. We want to get him up there and past that next threshold because we want to party this weekend, guys. And we can't party if Kelly doesn't hit that milestone. So go sub to his channel. But yeah, he's got a lot of great content on there for real. So go. Tony D just dropped the link. 9K. Just need a few Mafia members. Let's go, guys. Let's get them there. Shout out to Kelly Kellum. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead. Oh, God. It sounds like Candy is probably going to be my new nickname, but hey, I can't complain. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump on in to this price action as Bitcoin did get a little bit of a spill to the downside. Let's pull up our, where is that live stream chart? All right, let me just pull up the actual live stream chart so I can look at the levels we were looking at yesterday. And yeah, so we did get a little bit of a dip to the downside, guys, mostly eating it back up at this point. We are sitting back at about 25.8. I will say I am in a trade right now. I actually showed this one the other day. It is a maker short. And then we will be taking a look at Ethereum as well. Ethereum took a dump. The alts are spilling a little bit here. But let's go ahead and jump right into Bitcoin real quick. Let's pull up the Bitstamp chart and take a look at what we got going on. Now, yesterday, if you guys were watching the live stream, you will know that we were looking at potential short-term bounces. But we were looking for some more potential downside, and we were looking for some very specific things which are potentially going to present themselves very soon. Now, first off here, now we see a yellow X printing on the 8-hour time frame. This would be a pretty alarming signal, guys. The yellow X's on Market Cipher A do indicate manipulation in the market, but let me go ahead and pull our range really quick right here. From there to here. Obviously, we did come down to this value area low, and we are kind of trying to hold it here, but these yellow X's, at least the first and the second ones, are typically the ones that give you those big moves down, and then once you start seeing the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, usually those could indicate seller exhaustion, but we do have a fresh yellow X here on something like the 8-hour. This was one of the things that we were looking at, and I'll talk about this specifically, right? We were looking at the kind of micro price action, right? You guys will remember we were looking down here. We had a volume profile pulled on this local range, and we were just trying to break down this local price action, right? However, when we zoomed out, we were being cautious of some more downside for some very specific reasons. And the reason I want to bring this up is so that you guys can also see this stuff happen. So if we take a look at the 8-hour, you guys will remember last night we were saying, hey, VWAP on the 8-hour is coming back down towards that zero line. On top of the 8-hour, we also had the 10, the 12, and that 16-hour VWAP rolling over back to the downside. And the reason why this was very interesting to me was because if you remember, we were looking at specifically these momentum waves and how these momentum waves could be set up for potential bullish divergences, right? Looking for I mean, we literally were looking at this exact thing, right? Not what's happening right now, but this is literally what we were talking about yesterday. Looking for a continued move down before getting a lower low on price action and allowing the 8-hour to come down here and put in a higher low on its momentum wave, giving us a bullish divergence, which would obviously be a little bit stronger of a signal to get a strong bounce than what we were seeing yesterday. And yesterday, really all we had was low time frame divergences, right? That's really all we had. We had things on, we had bullish divergences on things like the, what is today? This is the 21st. Today, yeah, this was yesterday. We had divergences on things like the 15-minute, right? You have your lower low on price with your higher lows on your momentum waves. Caught a little scalp on that move. And then, but just nothing really screaming that we would get a massive, massive move to the upside. But here's the thing. This is why we were looking up to those higher time frames, because these red dots that were looming on the 8, 10, 12, and 16-hour were calling for some potential more downside. But more specifically, what I want to hammer home to you guys is that this is how I look at the markets, right? And now you can never predict things 100% of the time or 100% accurately, but this is kind of what I do, and we talk about this a lot in the premium Discord. I try to anticipate what price action is going to look like, right? So instead of seeing an 8-hour bullish divergence when it's forming, I actually try to snipe it before it even comes. And when we saw this momentum wave deep below this zero line on the 8-hour with our VWAP coming down, we were able to kind of assume that if this red dot did print, the momentum wave would likely come down, which it is right now. And if it does come down and put in a higher low, this would give us a bullish divergence on the 8-hour, right? If we get a lower low on our price action. And on top of that, on the 10, 12, and 16-hour time frame, I would be looking for the same thing. And this is definitely a stronger signal for a big move up rather than a 15-minute bullish divergence with a green dot on the 4-hour, which is really what we had yesterday. So we are kind of seeing what we were looking for. And, yesterday I was in a scalp long. I did wind up getting stopped out of that trade. Obviously, well, I didn't close it, so obviously I got stopped out of that. But all these trades within this range, and this is important for you guys to realize because there's a reason, right? Last night, talking about the trades that I was in within this range, they are very, very small scalp trades, right? So I caught a couple of scalps within this range, but got stopped out of the one that I was talking about yesterday. However, all these trades that are happening within this local price action were very, very small scalp trades, right? I can lose 10 of those trades in a row, and that's not going to hurt my account, right? They're very well managed and very low capital trades because this is kind of tricky price action to trade, right? Because you got a big move down, you have a little bit of consolidation, but we're not really sitting. You're playing with the value area low, and really there were no strong signals to get a giant move up or a giant move down. So with that being said, that's why we were looking up towards the higher time frame, saying, hey, might be worth, because if you have this 4-hour green dot, right, which you had right here, 4-hour green dot with a bullish divergence on your lower time frames, even money flow coming up on the 15-minute over here. After that bullish divergence, you see the money flow did come up. It really only resulted in a small move to the upside. Now, this is a small move, however, about 1.5%. That is a big enough move for me to profit using the leverage that I use. However, it doesn't warrant a giant move. And when you have even money flow coming up with your 4-hour green dot, etc., when you have that on top of an 8, 10, 12, 16-hour VWAP that is rolling to the downside, you can see here we don't necessarily have the red dot on the 12-hour just yet, but the VWAP is coming down, right? So it's going to be really hard to get a massive move up while this 12-hour is looking like it wants to cool off, right? So it would be a little – that's why I was mentioning – for me to get a big, long position, I would rather see this 8-hour bull div, the 10-hour bull div, right? These are much stronger signals to get a big move to the upside. Now, I will say this. These red dots are fresh, right? This is not a bullish divergence right now. So I don't want anyone who might be new here kind of confusing this. It's like this is not the signal we were waiting for to go long. This is the signal we were waiting for to set up to potentially go long, right? So you got the fresh red dot. I would expect this momentum wave to come down as long as we're able to make a higher low. Price will likely make a lower low, and that will give us that bullish divergence on the higher time frame, giving us a much better signal to go long and get a bigger move to the upside. Now, moves or levels to the upside have not changed from what we were looking at yesterday, which was, let me see if I can pull that up. I will just go ahead and draw them real quick, and then we will wrap up. I don't know if we're going to have time to look at the altcoins tonight, guys, just because we are a little bit late. We had that little snafu with the – oh, Miss Teen Crypto in the chat. What is going on, Miss Teen Crypto? Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with the Mafia. Show some love to Miss Teen Crypto in the chat. But, yeah, like I said, guys, I got to be up super early tomorrow for that Sheldon stream. But, yeah, continuing on here. This is, we are still playing around with this value area low. And, guys, what do we look for, right? We didn't actually have it here on the 10-hour. But typically, when you get the bullish divergences below your range, right, what do we have here? We had lower lows on our price action. Everybody thought it was going to zero. And we had higher lows on our momentum waves with our money flow coming up. As we deviated from the low of the range, what happened? We reclaimed the range and shot up to the value area high POC. And then vice versa, we had the opposite happen in the opposite direction. So I will be looking for something similar to happen down here potentially. If price continues to push its way down here, I will be looking for those bullish divergences to potentially anticipate a bounce out of here and then back into this range and get a little bit more of a move up. But as you guys know, we do have some pretty important levels kind of within this quick move down that could wind up giving us some strong resistance, right? And if we pull up our moving averages here, I will take a look at the 200-day. Let me go ahead and change this length to 200 and go up to the daily. You can see we do have our 200-day moving average coming in right here. This is nothing new. If you watched the stream yesterday, this is all remains the same. 200-day moving average sitting at about $27,330. On top of that, we also have a bunch of other reasons that are very confluent with that level at about 27,330. So I'll just put a line there so we can kind of keep an eye on it. We will call this the 200-day moving average. And you can see we also have fib levels in this area. If you pull your fib from the high to the low, well, we do have a new low now. But You can see your 786 golden pocket retracement level when pulled from this little wick right here. You do have that level sitting right up here. Beautiful confluence with that 200-day moving average. We also have some single prints in this area. I'm not going to go into what single prints are on this stream, but oftentimes, all you really need to know is price likes to go up there and fill the single prints. And the single prints pop up a lot of the time when you get a quick move down. They do oftentimes correlate with volume gaps in the VPVR. So if you are familiar with the volume profiles, which if you watch this channel, you know you are very familiar with this stuff. If we get a move up there, long story short, guys, there is a lot of confluence at this area to make it strong resistance, right? So not only do you have the 200-day moving average, you also have the golden pocket 786 fib retracement levels, as well as what is it called? Single prints, as well as a CME gap, I believe is right in that area as well. I'm going to pull up the actual CME chart, find out the actual, so it's about 27,630, 27,630, 26,9, so 27,630. So like really right just in this area, right? So just keep that in mind. If we do get a move up from here, this is likely going to be strong resistance because there is many confluences at this level. That's why it's a purple box. We looked at this yesterday. And remember this as well, guys. Worth noting, pretty big volume gap just in general. If we get above that purple box, pretty big volume gap all the way back up here towards that value area high of the range, which I will, right here. You can see, like, once we get above that purple box, we do have a pretty open area of volume here. So if we do get a continued move up, we could get a quick push up back towards the top of this range. But again, going to be very strong resistance between these levels at 27.5 and 27K even. But, again, not getting super bearish at the value area low. But again, these fresh red dots on the 8, 10, 12, 16 hour, if it decides to print, will likely give us some form of a push down. But again, looking for those bullish divergences for a bounce. And now you have the key levels to look at to the upside. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Javit the barber, said Frankie with the freshie. Shout out to Javit. Bro, I swear, one day we're going to get you out here. I want a haircut from you, bro. Shout out to Javit the barber. That would just be full circle. I do think that is about all the time we got for the live stream tonight, guys. Like I said, we got pushed back on all those got kind of messed up with those technical difficulties. But again, I was going to end early anyway, just because of I have to get up super early tomorrow to get on that Sheldon stream. But I do want to take a look at Ethereum really quickly before we hop off, guys, because if we pull up, let's pull up this chart. Taking a look at Ethereum. Just sitting right on that previous value area high, sitting at about 1612. But we did get a pretty decent little push down here pretty quickly, right? So, but as far as price action, things are looking very similar, right, as Bitcoin. Right, 10-hour red dot is confirmed. Your 12-hour red dot is now printing. But again, looking for the support underneath us and looking for some potential bullish divergences with our lower lows on price. Now, you obviously don't have it on the wick, but you do have it on the bodies here. But looking for something very similar, right? You're looking for, that move down, lower low on your price, and then you're looking for your momentum wave to make a higher low on your momentum wave. And that is what is likely going to give you a stronger bounce to the upside. So, again, I don't want to confuse anybody. Like, it's looking very similar for Ethereum. So not impossible to get a bigger move down. But, again, keeping a close eye on those divergences for a potential bounce to come in here. Now, what I do want to do here is I want to pull a new range. Now, obviously, this is the current range that we were looking at recently before we wound up losing it and coming down to these lower prices. But I want to see something. If I go ahead and extend this all the way back to this area of price action, look at this. We are now sitting, if you pull your range all the way to this previous area of consolidation, and hang on. Creighton C, I'll come back to that super chat in a second. But you can see here we are simply sitting at the value area low. So this would be a level I am keeping an eye on, right? $1,600 even. Not only do you have that psychological level, but you also have that value area low. And let me see if I could zoom out here. Yeah, and you can see here your macro. I'll just go ahead and clear all these drawings real quick. Let's turn off Market Cipher A, and let's turn off the moving average. Just to break this down simply for you. So on Ethereum, I would be looking at two major ranges in the longer term, right? We're pulling it all the way here from Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th, 2023, all the way to our current price action. But also, I believe that other range is pulled all the way basically from... what is this? Yeah, coming all the way basically right before that last dump of the bear market in 2022, pulling that range, looking at all of our price action. You can see we have an overlap of value areas here. So not only have we lost this value area high and come on down to the value area low of this range, but right underneath, we have the macro value area high of all of this price action all the way back from May of 2022 till our current price action. So two very, very key levels to look at because, guys, you have to understand that if we wind up losing this value area high decisively, we could be looking at some much lower prices for Ethereum. You could see we got a pretty, and again, this is similar. I do want to go back to Bitcoin real quick before I hop off because yesterday I realized, guys, I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm not even joking. I woke up in the middle of the night last night and I said, oh my God, we spent so much time on Bitcoin yesterday, and I mentioned I was going to talk about the lower levels, and I never brought them up. And I wanted to wait. I woke up at like 3 in the morning. I wanted to just go live at 3 in the morning and be like, hey, guys, sorry, real quick, I forgot this on the live stream, but obviously that's pretty irrational, so I didn't do it. But I do want to cover the lower levels, but they're very similar to the Ethereum levels, right? So, again, this level here at about $1,600 is very important. It's the value area low of this range. It's also very close to the value area high of our macro range. On top of that, look where we wicked down to here, guys. We wicked down to this value area low of this previous area of consolidation, right? And we've been looking at this, and we're looking at the very same range on Bitcoin. I'm going to bring it up in a second. But for Ethereum, if we continue down, the key levels to watch, again, $1,600, $1,600 even is going to be a very, very big level to watch, as well as this value area right here. Previous value area low, your POC, and I'm gonna make this all make sense, guys. I'm gonna make this all make sense. Previous POC, and I'll label this one previous value area high, but there really is kind of a mix of support and resistance within this area. Previous value area high, right? So again, I'm gonna I don't want to confuse everybody with all the lines here, but simply put, if you break below this level, not only are you breaking this local value area high, but you're also breaking the macro value area high. If you cannot get back above this area, you are expecting to get a move back down towards that POC, which is coming in at 1572. And if you lose that level, you are likely to come down to the value area low, again, of this previous value area, which, where did we wick to on that big dump? Right to that value area low. So this is a very key level because not only is it a strong level, but it is also a level that gives us context into what price is likely to do next. So I like to highlight these things with boxes, right? So I'm going to highlight this value area with a white box, right? Because this is value area, a previous value area number 1. So if we lose decisively, which we kind of are right now, at least on the 12-hour, right? If you get into this white box and you can't get back above, you're likely to complete it down to the POC and potentially the value area low. And this is why we look for longs at value area lows and shorts at the highs. But that is going to be like some real key levels to look out to the downside. Really, I mean, I'll even get rid of this line. It's really going to be your previous POC at 1571, previous value area low at 1540. And then, again, $1,600 even, which is the line I just deleted. I just did that to clean up the chart. But that $1,600 level is going to be very, very key. So those are the key levels to the downside. But again, going to be looking for those macro bullish divergences on the higher time frames, like the 4-hour, which is, could be printing soon here with your higher lows on your momentum waves, lower low on price. But more specifically, that 8, 10, 12, and 16-hour bullish divergence for a bigger move to the upside. But until that happens, I will say the fresh 12-hour red dot, the fresh 16-hour red dot. And then the daily looking like it wants to print a red dot could offer us some more downside in the short term. Now, going back to Bitcoin really, really quickly here, I already have the levels up on the screen, but again, we are sitting at that macro value area low, right, of this range. Here's our rejection. If we get the bounce, this is where likely you will find some resistance inside this purple box. And if we lose this value area low and decide to get some kind of a mega dump to come in here, the next area I am looking at for some strong support is going to be pulled. Let me hide my face. I know you guys hate when I hide my face. But I'm going to have to do it, guys. I'm going to have to do it. Bear with me. Hopefully this is the right button. There we go. So if we do wind up getting a bigger move down, we are simply shifting our eyes over to this previous value area, looking at the value area high golden pocket confluence, which is blue box number 1, sitting at about, trying to give you guys just information short and sweet here, just straight facts and information here. $24,223 and $23,763 is that first area of support. And again, that is not just a random level of support. It is a very important level of support because not only do you have the golden pocket, but you also have the value area high. Now, not only is this an important level because we could look for a bounce off of it, but we know if we get below this level and cannot get back above, we now have insight to where Bitcoin is likely to go next. Where is it likely to go next? Creighton, where's it going next? That's right, POC. We are likely to go back down to that POC, which is sitting at about $23,000 even. And if you lose that POC, you're going to be looking down towards that value area low 786 confluence, which is coming in closer to about $22,123, which sounded crazy to me when I was looking at these levels a couple of weeks ago, but pretty quickly they became relevant. So there you go, guys. Those are the key levels I am looking at to the downside if we get a bigger move down. And again, they are all just derived from the volume profile. And you saw on that Ethereum chart why these levels are so strong or how they can be respected so strong. Even if we pulled up the Bybit chart, you could see we wicked down to that same golden pocket. I know it looks different because there's a blue box, but that golden pocket right here, at about 23.8, right? The bottom of it's about 23.8 on the Bybit chart. We got to bounce at about between 23.6 and 23.8 right off that same golden pocket, right? So these levels are respected. And if I pull that range on the Bybit chart, you will see that that value area high is right in confluence with that golden pocket. So these levels are strong and they are respected, especially when you have the confluence between the golden pocket and your value area high or value area low. So those are the key levels I'm looking at, guys. I'd be careful of some more downside based off the 8-hour red dot and the higher hourly time frames. Printing yellow X's, they're not confirmed just yet. But that's what I'm looking at, guys. Hopefully I was able to give you some insight into the market. Shout out to Creighton C. He said, if you can follow Kelly, you can follow and like Miss Teen Crypto. I know it's hard to do it. You know, click. Don't want you to hurt yourselves. Yeah, guys, go check out Miss Teen Crypto as well. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for showing love, bro. But guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I am actually going to, we'll go ahead and spin the wheel. Let me pull up the wheel of pain and pleasure. And just selfishly, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Maker real quick because I am in a short position. Maybe I could pull that up. I don't know if, there we go. Technical final TP hit. I am still holding the trade. I'm not closed out in full just yet. But yeah, wound up hitting this thing. We still haven't gone down to where we actually wicked to. Hit it for about 25%. Can I pull it up here? Is it going to keep me logged in? Potentially. Yeah, I've showed this one a couple of times. I've showed this. Oh, is this going to be all broken and stuff? Oh, no, not really. Okay. But yeah, you guys can see here. Can you guys see that? Right here, still up 129%. I've been sitting in this trade for a little while now. I don't know exactly when. I think the date is here somewhere. But yeah, putting $1,900 in margin, so $1,900 on my own money, up about $3,000. Gonna be holding this. I'm actually gonna do a little bit of analysis on this potentially tonight after I eat dinner, just to see, you know, kind of where we're thinking things are going. But yeah, probably gonna hold this one for the time being. Gonna see if we can milk this thing for everything it's worth. But I will be locking in some profits. I only have $470 locked in here, and then $2,500 still unrealized. But yeah, still sitting in that trade for anybody who was curious. I know everyone's always curious about the trades. So yeah, still sitting in that one. Like I said, got stopped out of that small scalp long yesterday on Bitcoin, but no big deal. I would have to literally lose 250 of those little scalp trades for it to, not cover the gains that we made on that short. Let's see. Tony D said, take profit. Mods putting the boss in check. Love it. Shout out to South Wealth Crypto. I'm uncontrollable. You can never control me. I'm just kidding. Shout out to the mods. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Paul Wood, said that's not a pump lower high. Actually, that is important to point out, guys. If we do wind up getting a push up on Bitcoin, right? Like, let's say we put in that bull div on the higher time frames, maybe that 8-hour prints the bull div. If we get a move up, guys, very important to realize that our bias in the medium term is still bearish because of the money flow on the higher time frames. Paul Wood, thank you for saying that. Yeah, with the money flow coming out, especially now on the 12-hour. Look at this 12-hour money flow. I mean, this is as bearish as the money flow gets, right? Just coming straight out. Tried to come up, boom, coming straight out with the VWAP rolling over on top of it. That is not good. That's like you're getting wrecked by a wave in the ocean, flipping around, getting dunked under the water by a giant wave. And then as you're getting wrecked under that wave, there's just another swell right over you about to dump right back on top of you. So that is not really the best look on the 12-hour, but again, it's not just that. That's kind of a new development. The 2-day money flow coming out, the 3-day money flow coming out, the 4-day looking to cross over into the red, 5-day looking to cross over into the red. This gives us our medium-term bearish bias. So whenever we do wind up getting that bump up, and we do get a retracement to the upside, if we get up here, this is going to be a big place to look for a lower high, as well as this Fibonacci retracement level, which is coming in very close to your POC value area high confluence. So, if we do wind up getting that move up, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a rejection here, or even if we get a big move up, a potential rejection right here at the golden pocket. So, again, that bearish medium-term bias remains even if we get this pump up. I'm not, this isn't going to be a pump to 100K likely. I will be looking to short the lower highs on any pump to the upside based off the higher time frame money flow. Brett Headley said Frankie's trying to ignore Tony D. Actually, chat is pretty lit right now. Yeah, just popping off. Let's see. Tony D said you'd roll over ADA and Solana yesterday and told Twitter you'd do AVAX. Well, yeah, I'll take a look at AVAX. I'm going to push ADA and Solana over to, I'll just do a quick look here. If nothing crazy happened, I'm going to push ADA and Solana till tomorrow because I do have to get off here. Yeah, ADA also very similar here, guys. Like, don't really need to, getting pushed back down, but same thing. 4 and 5 hour looking for a potential bullish divergence to print here very soon, right? 4-hour bull div, looking to potentially print soon with your lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. And the same thing on the higher time frames. Actually, Cardano is a little closer to having this stuff happen, but there is no lower low on price yet. So if you get a lower low on Cardano, right, and you get a push down like that, and then your momentum wave gives you that higher low, that is what I would be looking at for your bounce to the upside. But it's likely to print on the 4-hour first. But again, looking at very, very similar price action, right? 8-hour, potentially putting in that bull div. Not really a lower low here. I would like to see the body or the wick of the candle come and make a lower low here. You don't have that just yet, but you are potentially setting up for it, right? Because if you get pushed down a little bit more, you could still put that higher low on your momentum wave. So still just looking pretty similar to Bitcoin. And then fresh red dot on the daily would assist you in putting in that lower low before putting in those bullish divergences. Solana, we'll take a quick look at. Let's see. Actually, I'll delete. I don't want to delete that. I want to delete the brush tool. Come on. There we go. All right. Yeah. So coming on to the 8-hour, somewhat similar. However, Solana potentially looking to invalidate the bullish divergence. Looking for that higher low and lower low on your price action. But again, VWAP coming straight out. I'd be careful of invalidating that bullish divergence with a lower low on your momentum wave. But looking somewhat similar, right? If you look at the 10-hour, looking for the bull div as well. 12-hour doesn't have it. 16-hour doesn't have it. So Solana actually doesn't look Solana doesn't look like it wants to print the bull divs as much as something like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And you don't have it on the 4-hour. You don't have the bull divs on the 4-hour either. So, yeah, not looking. I would say Solana does look slightly worse, in my opinion. But let's see. Yeah, money flow coming back out on the 12-hour. Daily money flow coming out. Yeah, not the same signals really on Solana. It tried, but you are getting pretty close to invalidation here. So still looking for the same. I still would be looking for the same thing, but I'm not as confident that it will wind up confirming here on Solana. But I am going to do these quick and dirty, guys, because I do have to jump off. And then I'll take a look at AVAX as well. Take a look at that Binance Tether chart. So, yeah, AVAX looking a lot cleaner with that whole thesis of your higher lows on your momentum waves and your lower lows on your price action. Luckily, a lot of these look exactly the same. Obviously, Solana did look a little bit different, but, yeah, a lot of these do look the same. But yeah, higher lows on the momentum waves, lower lows on price action on your 8-hour. Looking for it on your 10-hour as well. 12-hour looking for a very similar thing, and then your 16-hour also set up for. AVAX looks very similar to Bitcoin. It's almost the same exact setup. But the daily, right? Like, be careful. This is not a signal. Like, these are not signals to go long. These are signals to start looking for the setup for the long position, because this fresh daily red dot is likely to continue putting in a little bit more of a push to the downside. And you have to remember, none of this stuff is printing yet. These divergences are not printing. You need the higher low on your momentum wave to give you that bullish divergence. Not, if this comes down and makes a lower low on your momentum wave, well, hey, that lower low invalidates that bullish divergence, and that would invalidate that signal for the bounce to the upside. So it's not just like, oh my God, there's a potential bull div printing here, I'm going to get in early and make a ton of money. It's, let me wait to see if this actually prints and actually confirms, and that's when you would want to start making your decisions. Maybe go down to a lower time frame, find a lower time frame bullish divergence or another entry signal on a lower time frame to get in and hopefully ride up that bull div on the, like, let me try to find some another situation where we had something like that happen. Let's go back. We're going to have to probably go back a little bit in time here. Let's see. Let me see. Lower lows on your price action, higher lows. I guess we'll go back to here. Okay, so here you go, right? Right here. I'm not saying it's going to launch you into a bull run, but, you have your lower low on your price action. This is the 8-hour time frame, higher lows on your momentum waves. That's where you wind up going up big time, right? And again, you can enter on that, or you can go down to a lower time frame, find a local entry signal, and then get in on a lower time frame so you're not buying the top of the candle, right? You got to zoom in, though, if you want to get in at the bottom of the candle. So there you guys go. There's a quick and dirty TA on AVAX, looking very similar to Bitcoin, again. But I do have to get out of here, guys, so let's go ahead and spin that wheel of pain and pleasure. Let's go ahead and pull up the wheel here. Let's see. Boom. All right, here we go. How many likes did we get? Did you guys smash the like button from David from Sin City? Smash that like button if you enjoyed having David on. I absolutely love having him on. Super down to earth, super level-headed dude, and super fun to have a conversation with. And I did like the Alex said, hang on, I don't want to cut off my words on David. Love having him on the show. Great conversation to have, and I know you guys like that rant that he was making on the dollar. So shout out to him. If you like that rant, smash that like button. Alex said, confirmed means the candle must be closed. No. So for me, personally, if I were looking to confirm this bullish divergence, say on, what is this, the 8-hour, what I would like to see is no. It's a great question, right? Because, well, what happens if we print another candle here? What if this candle confirms, right? And then we get another candle here. Well, if we wind up doing that, and we don't have a green dot down here on our momentum wave, that would not be confirmed for me. But that's because I use Market Cipher B. So for me, confirmed is when the green dot on Market Cipher B prints, you have to have the higher low on your momentum wave, right? And then you have to have the green dot, but the green dot must be confirmed, right? So once the green dot starts printing, I want to wait for that candle to close, and then once that green dot is locked in, that's where I consider the divergence confirmed. So there you go. Great question, Alex. Thank you for asking that. But let's go ahead and pull up that wheel of pain and pleasure. We got 4 spins. If we get to 500 likes before I'm able to finish spinning this thing 4 times, I will spin it 8 times. We'll double it. Let's see. You don't get another candle. You always get another. Wait. Oh, you do get another candle. You always get another candle. That's how charts work. Shout out to Creighton C. He knows how to read a chart. Shout out to Creighton C. Let's see. Speaking of C, let's see. The other Alex said, I know you missed the bottom. I do miss the bottom. I do. Yeah, he says, I know you missed the bottom, 15K. I do miss the bottom. I liked buying down there. But if we go back down, which I know a lot of people think, I don't think. I do think the bottom is likely in at 15.5, but I do pray that it does go back down because I will love to buy some more. Crypto Totoro said, I don't ever really find the wheel painful. Is that weird? Yeah, shout out to Crypto Totoro. Got to hang out with Totoro today. It's like the second time he stopped by the building. Guys, shout out to Crypto Totoro. And every time I get to meet somebody from the Mafia, it's just like I feel like I've already known them for so long. It's so weird. We just have such a good community of people. Yeah, Totoro, we just hanging out, talking, and super, super cool guy. Came by with his girl. I don't want to dox her name in case she doesn't want it doxed. But, yeah, shout out to them. I love when they stop by. Super, super cool, down-to-earth people. Speaking of down-to-earth people, Crypto Totoro is definitely one of those people. But, yeah, and if you guys stick around for the Frankie fake out, actually, Totoro, this is for you directly, bro. I walked out without that thing. So tune into tomorrow's stream. I kind of went haywire. I forgot we had guest on today. Technical difficulties. But tomorrow, guys, Totoro came with a much-needed gift. Totoro, thank you so much for that, bro. I really do appreciate you. And tomorrow, if you guys are watching the stream, you'll know what that gift was. And you'll know how badly needed it was. But there we go, guys. We got 4 out of 5 giveaways. We spun the wheel one extra time for you. But like I said, guys, tomorrow I am going to be doing a collab with Sheldon the Sniper on his channel. You guys have been asking for that collab a lot. But yeah, they finally reached out. We're going on the show tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. So if you don't catch it live, catch the replay. I'm going in blind. I don't know exactly what they want to do. But yeah, we're just gonna show up and yeah, I guess probably gonna be talking charts, talking trades, and yeah. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate everybody for tuning in from the bottom of my heart. I don't just say that because I'm on camera. I say that because I mean it. We have the best community in the world, and you know, like David said. You know, I always say, when I go on other people's shows, they don't, you know, of course, they're always nice to me. You know, they're, hey, man, love your show and stuff. But one thing they always say is, man, that Candle Mafia you got, dude, they are something else. And it really is a testament to how strong of a community we are here. And David's one of those people. He's like, dude, you heard him say it. The Mafia is out here. And I appreciate that. I will never take it for granted. And that's why I do truly love each and every single one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, shout out to David. Thank you for coming on if you're still somewhere hearing this or seeing this. But guys, until tomorrow at 6:30 a.m., woo, gotta go to bed. But yeah, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. And maybe I'll see some of you guys in Sheldon's stream tomorrow. But if not, I'll see you guys. Tony D, I'm blocking Tony D. All right, Tony's getting blocked. He said, can I bring you coffee at 6 a.m.? Tony D, if you show up to my house at 6 a.m., I'm going to throw stuff out the window at you. But anyway, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go sub to David's channel, Sin City Crypto, or David and Robin's channel, Sin City Crypto. They got a lot of good, a lot of really great content out there. And guys, go sub to BitLab Academy. Go, Tony, spam that link one more time and go sub. Kelly's about to break a milestone, and the Mafia, I know we can get him there. Go sub to his channel, crack him over that 9K level. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. That's all I got. Frankie Candle's out. Bing bong.
Tyler Ramos.
Guys, he was just at 8 8,900. 8,000. He was at 8,000. He was 8.98. Now he's at 8.99. I don't have access to his studio. I actually might. I don't even know. But I can't look at the live ticker, but I'm refreshing the page. He's at 8.99, guys. We only need a few more people. Let's go. Is it going to be 10? Come on. I'm sitting here refreshing the page until he hits 9K, guys. Go sub to the BitLab Academy. Get him to 9K. Let's go. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. I was supposed to get off early, but now we're not getting off until Kelly hits 9K. Come on, baby. We could do it. We could do it, Mafia. Get in there. Sub to the channel. Come on. I know we could do it. I will do this for like a couple of minutes, but I do have to get off, guys. I think we're going to get him there. He's real close. Oh, my God. He's so close. I'm already subscribed. I would subscribe again. I'm subscribed on all my accounts, too, from a long time back. Come on, baby. Who is not subbed? Who is Eric Bonici? I know you're already subbed, bro. I know. Crypto Crabman, he's been subbed on BitLab. I know that. Let's see. Already subbed. Let's go. Subscribe. Let's go. Creighton C. He said it's not like you have to watch. It's a sub. Just go. And I do recommend you watch, but it is true. Just go click that button. It's a little click on your mouse. Hopefully he hits it. I know we're going to get there. But let's see. I'm going to do 2 more refreshes, and then I got to get out of here. But let's see if we can do it. 8.99K, guys. He's almost there. That's all the time I got. Go sub to his dang channel. I'm still going to be sitting eating dinner with Mrs. Candles like, come on, Mafia. Let's go. But that's all the time I got, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. You know the rest. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing, bong.
Tyler Ramos.
Hey, let's go. Kelly, you did it, bro. Let's get it. Shout out to Kelly Kellum, BitLab Academy. He just hit 9K. That's all I got, guys. Shout out to Kelly. Go show him some love. Send him a Discord DM. Congratulate him. Let's go. We love you, Kelly. We'll see you next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing, bong.
Tyler Ramos.